get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Yeah, buddy. What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Rob, and this is I'll Piss You Off Shortly. And this is going to be our first take into looking reactionary video, I guess, of the Rudy Giuliani video.
So probably in a rough estimate, how many lives President Trump saved?
I'd say he saved 1 million lives. It would have been 1 million more had he waited.
This is my first time watching this, by the way.
Democrats would have done.
Yeah.
I want to make that clear.
But he acted.
It's a great movie.
He acted before anybody. In fact, even his own advisors. Some of them advised him not to do it.
Yeah.
What? As he's coughing.
Yeah. It's always.
And then there's
jeez. I've always been behind of the camera, but today something with this.
I think you're gonna look pretty good.
And this is supposed to be Borat's daughter, right? Or Sasha Cohen.
But
Yeah, she's supposed to be 15 in the movie.
I really feel like Melania right now.
Well,
You look like Melania.
You're gonna look pretty.
Sorry to interrupt, Mayor.
He looks so.
Sound problem. I think it's cancel interview.
I don't think we need. Because
Yeah. What do I do?
I already checked.
Okay.
Can I just point out just how creepy Giuliani looks? And then just the eyes he's giving her.
Is she asking too many questions?
No, she's doing great.
Make a very nagging wife.
Makes a very nagging wife.
No.
If I were
No.
you, I would stick to
No.
marrying your cousins.
Can I check the sound?
Sure.
So they're supposed to be okay. So I'm just trying to get the premise. They're supposed to be interviewing.
Can you say something?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, the sound is perfect.
Probably better if I stay in.
No, please. If I need you, I will call you.
Sure.
You will be in the lobby, right?
So do they get to the?
All right, so initially,
Wait.
here's the premise of the movie, so you know, Rob.
Yeah.
He was supposed to deliver his daughter to Vice President Pence,
Okay.
and he failed.
So
So
they
he
got-
decides, since he can't get to Pence,
so sorry.
Giuliani's
That's
the
horrible.
guy, and so here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm so sorry for that. Really apologize.
Apology accepted. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you again for giving me this time. Shall we have a drink in the bedroom?
Is this normal protocol? I wonder, just drinking with the reporters in the bedroom.
Okay.
What? What did he think he was about to?
Give me your phone number and your address.
Look at that nasty, touchy-feely
That's the
shit.
old white man, Pat.
I wasn't gonna say it because I don't want, but he's a nasty guy. He's net. Why are you digging in your pants, bro? Why are you?
15. My daughter, please.
Yo,
take me
what-
instead. Take my anus.
No, take my anus. Do not have
Take my ain't
No,
yo.
My back pussy very tight.
No, it's my front
Please,
anus.
I will let you enjoy
Oh,
my
shit.
mouth in your mouth. No.
Now,
What the?
here's the deal, man. I don't know why I keep doing that Joe Biden line. Here's the deal. So I guess Rudy was taking the microphone out of his pants.
Okay.
At least that's what he says.
And you would
If
have
they
more
were-
experience. I mean, as far as understanding with microphones.
And you
set
would
up.
be mic'd up, and we do typically, with both men and women, we will run it down your shirt so that it would just pop up right over here.
Mhm.
So that seems pretty legit, but I've never seen it done in a bedroom like that before, unless you were making a porno.
And what I'm understanding, like, yeah, he might have been tucking his shirt, but why are you laying down, putting your hands? I mean,
Again, I've never seen anybody remove the microphone laying down, pulling. I mean, again, it wouldn't be in the front of his pants. That I don't understand. You might have the little receiver, but usually you would stick it in your pants pocket.
got you. So there should be no reason for him to be digging. I mean, even adjust your shirt, but that's just some old man creep shit. If you're adjusting your shirt, laying on the bed with this girl, like, why are you even going in there? So obviously you must have thought something. Not saying what you thought, but I would assume that you thought something. I don't know.
You would think. Yeah.
So,
Well, look, not for nothing, Rob. For anybody who's freaking out about the Hunter Biden Burisma laptop, you're okay. This is the source of that. If you believe that, give me a break, dude.
No, I don't believe any of this. I just thought it was super fucking comical. And I thought it because especially I didn't see it, so I figured one, if I'm gonna watch it, I don't know what I'm trying. I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what I'm watching, but I figured that it would be good to watch because everybody was talking about it, and I honestly didn't believe that he was like intentionally being like. Well, I think he was intentionally being nasty, especially with the touchy feely shit. But I don't think he would be that dumb to one do something with a young reporter, and then two, I mean, it's Borat, so you already know things are like taken to a whole nother extreme. But that is funny, and it just shows how creepy old white men can definitely be.
By the way, officially the title is Borat Subsequent Movie Film. That is the official name of the film. Of course, the original being, did you see the original?
Yes.
Okay, Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan. I watched the first one again just the other day. You know what? The first movie came out in 2006.
Damn, it's been 14. Damn.
Yeah, like an eternity ago, it seemed like. So I went back and I watched the first one, and then I almost watched. I should say I didn't finish it. I did fall asleep, not because it wasn't hilarious, but because I was fucked up.
Yeah,
you just really enjoying the show, something fierce. And and so I passed out, but I'm hopefully gonna finish it before the night is out. Is my plan.
There you go. I think I need to rewatch it again. I'm gonna go to the first one and then go into the second one. I thought it was gonna be like something where you had to like crazy pay for it, and they're like, "Oh no, you can find it on Amazon." So I was like, "Word." I'll take a look at it now, just for the shits and giggles. You know, put two pieces in the air and laugh my ass off until I fall asleep.
I'll put it to you like this: if you like Borat, it's good. It's really, really good. If you aren't a Borat fan or you don't know Borat from before, you might struggle with this a little bit, because he's playing a character, and not everybody understands quite what a Borat set is. I mean, some people in the scene know what's happening, and most of them don't.
I was gonna say, like, how does he get that kind of clearance? Like, well, I mean, it's Giuliani, so I can understand probably why you couldn't get to Pence.
He got to Pence. He was in the same room as Mike Pence. He actually got in, and he and she were escorted. He was wearing a Donald Trump costume, and literally yells out to Pence, "I give you my daughter," and that's it. Pence stops dead in his Pence stops in the middle of a speech. Security clears out, and he's holding the kid, who, by the way, she's 15 in the movie. She's 24 in real life, but he ends up carrying her out. And this is when they come up with the plan. Who better than to get to Trump by going to Rudy Giuliani, and that's how it all ends up happening.
That's funny. I gotta watch.
The best too is this girl, by the way, who's very, very attractive young lady. I don't even know her name. I don't know if I've ever seen her anything before. In Kazakhstan, women don't have any rights over there.
Okay, so very much like a lot of Middle Eastern.
So, and this girl has never touched herself in that way, because in Kazakhstan, you're taught that it's got teeth and it'll bite your arm off.
Hold on. So the actress, or the actor,
it's for the movie.
Oh, okay.
She's not really from Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
You're all acting, Rob.
Yeah,
it's a movie.
Yeah. That's why I get messed up.
It's a movie. Yeah,
I know it's a movie, but
it's
like
hard
that's
to
why
tell
I get
what's real and what's fake.
Exactly. Yeah, and then when you try and piece it together, it's hard to like differentiate what. Yeah. Okay.
You know, halfway through Tropic Thunder, I asked my brother, who I was watching it with for the first time, where Robert Downey Jr. was. He stopped the movie and he goes,
playing the other dude.
My brother stopped the movie. This is how long it was, like on a VCR. He stopped it and he looked at me. He goes, "Are you a fucking idiot?" Sometimes we get stooped on these things. So no, she's not really from Kazakhstan.
Gotcha.
But she's in a meeting of conservative women.
Okay.
Not sure. I'm assuming they've got somehow they get these media passes. Mm-hmm. She goes in. She talks to these women, accept her in there. She's like, I want to be like Melania Trump, and they think she's great. She goes to the bathroom, and she's got this little book from Kazakhstan that talks about not touching yourself, and she decides to do it. And it's, as you could imagine, quite glorious. And she comes out, and the women are, talking about getting Donald Trump reelected. And this young woman comes out, and she says, I have something to say. And they're like, please. And she starts explaining that masturbating is amazing. And the conservative women, for like the first minute, are like, yeah, it is. And then finally, they're like, she's got to go. Like, yeah.
Security, yeah.
They basically do mess with many a Republican and many a conservative and groups all throughout the movie. And again, you got to understand, some people are in on it, some people aren't, and the fun is that you're not really sure who knows what.
That's
but yeah, no, it's a good movie. And Giuliani's got some explaining to do, man.
Yeah, he does. I mean, not a lot, but I think he has a little bit more explaining to do on other things. But we'll put this in the stack pile with other shit that he has some explaining to do. I was kind of hoping that he might. This is gonna sound bad. Let me see how I can word this. I was hoping that, not that it was true, but because I don't wish that on, and you know what I'm saying? I don't wish no 15-year-old, if it was true, to have to go through that. But I was like, damn, is it a good enough scenario where like he touched himself and we're able to like get him in jail or some shit like that? So, but then they were like, oh yeah, it was Borat. So, oh well, we'll get him some way. Him and his boy Trumpito.
I had a buddy. Do you remember when the Chris Hansen show To Catch a Predator first came out?
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah. You already see where I'm going with this.
God.
Now, mind you, my buddy's girl was and is, and this is like 10 years later, so they've been together a long time, but she's like a dozen years younger than him.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. Anyway, Chris Hansen, we see the show at work the next day. Guy's losing his mind. This is the worst thing he's ever seen. This is entrapment. This is a crime, he says, of thought. These men aren't doing anything. They were thinking about it, and they haven't acted on it. They shouldn't be arrested. They certainly shouldn't be put on TV and publicly identified without a trial.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Is he still your friend?
Nah, I haven't talked to him in like years.
Like, I don't understand that. Just like that, sexual predatory is not a thing. Like, I don't even want to talk about that because I'm just getting fucking hot and I'm gonna get off track. And then,
isn't it
like,
it's weird how people
like what turns you on about somebody that? And I was talking. Well, of course, like in your group of friends, you have that conversation. Like, what's too young for you, bro? And I literally had that like me just turning my birthday recently. Like, I was thinking, like, really. So I see a post, right? One of my friends, their parents just recently celebrated however many years, and his dad's 60, and I think the mom's 50. So to me, that's not crazy. But then when I shortchange it, and when I say shortchange it, I think like 30 and 20, or even 28, 18. That's still 10 years, but life-wise,
Yeah.
that's a huge fucking range. So,
all right.
I don't know.
I'm 45.
Okay.
Now, I want to say like 15 years ago, I would have said, right, to my wife, keep back to like that and I'll run off with some hot 18-year-old. Then I was like 32, and all of a sudden that girl became 21.
What?
Just instinctively. By 30 and 18, I was like, oh no, that's a bad look altogether. Even in my hypothetical situation, I got to up it. Now in this scenario, Rob, she's 30. She's 30.
But that's some growth. That's maturity.
You have to.
That's
I don't honestly even find younger women attractive anymore. I really don't. Is that weird?
Honestly, no, it's not, because
it's like a giant child.
Yeah, it's like, hi, what? To me, it's like, one, what can you do for me? Like, that's going to be an asset, not a liability. You're not going to cost me money. You're not going to give me a headache. I'm not like, if I wanted that, I'd stay at home or just go. I don't know. And
I think also I've dated a 21-year-old woman.
See,
and I've dated a 25-year-old woman. And now I'm married to a 42-year-old woman, and I like that better.
Exactly. And honestly,
that's less complicated.
Those days I've been in the doghouse, those 45-year-old cougars on X videos, they look a little bit more attractive. With that being said, since we're talking about like intimacy and love, and in that sense, I have a very, very, man, we're starting to get advertisements, you know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to be aware that this episode definitely has a couple sponsors. So if you guys have ever felt stuck in your marriage or relationship, or have you ever wished that there was someone that you could tell you everything that you need to know about love and relationships, if this is you, then the Music and Vibes podcast is for you. Hosted by Kiana W. Mitchell, the Music and Vibes podcast discusses different relationship issues, what you can do to improve your relationship. For more information about the Music and Vibes podcast, go to musicandvibes.com. I'm so proud of the Music and Vibes podcast. Kiana's doing such a great job. And so I was so happy when she reached out, to definitely plug. Go ahead.
She's awesome. She does a bunch of live. She goes live at least once a week. And I share it when I see it, because it's great stuff. She was talking about something that actually happened to me the other day, and my wife, just a story she told. And I said to my wife, I was like, look, here's this amazing story. Kiana was talking about something that had happened to her where she had a miscommunication in her marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ruin the story, but it was like she wanted mashed potatoes and he was like, gross.
Mm.
And later that day, he came home with baked potatoes. And she was like, you big dumbass. Like, I said mashed potatoes. But then she thought about it and she was like, you know what? He was trying to do a marriage repair.
Mm.
And even though he's a big, dumb fuck, like we all are, he was trying. And she said now that she's older, she appreciates the fact that he makes those efforts where before she would criticize it. And I hope I'm not misinterpreting that completely, Kiana, because that's what I told my wife that you said. And she was very impressed by it. But yeah, Kiana's amazing. And the other cool thing is she makes music in addition to giving advice, which is something you don't generally get from like a therapist.
And even with her with the podcast, you definitely get that music and vibes and some great therapy sessions, right? So when we were talking about just working together and stuff like that, I said your past episode 15 was amazing. It came right in time because it was talking about letting go of like your previous things, especially if you've been in like previous relationships or marriages, and then like going into your new relationships, letting that shit go, letting go of like how you would expect something to be done in a previous relationship, or the things that you didn't like, stop carrying that over. So, and that for a little bit, that's kind of been like a struggle, especially like I've been with my girl now for 3+ years now. You know what I'm saying? And I've been married twice before. One was, I'm not going to say it was a bullshit marriage, but it was a very short, well, both of them were very short marriages, under a year. But in that sense, like, they were military marriages. So if you know, anyways, I don't want to get on a tangent, but being said that, now going into a true relationship that I'm finding like real love into, that like really going through the test of time and like understanding like the sacrifices and stuff, that episode of Music and Vibes definitely came in right in handy. And it's just like the most mellow thing. I was telling kind of like, I love listening to it like in the morning. That's a good like morning pick me up, especially on like Saturday mornings when I'm cooking breakfast. Gets me right in the mood, and you know what I mean, it makes me feel a little bit better about my relationships and, you know, just being lovey-dovey. So check that out.
Let me give you one more quick story. Buddy of mine came over today to help me with a little minor patch on my ceiling.
Okay.
And so he stops by, and my wife is like, "Oh my God, our house is a disaster." And I was like, "What are you even like? Who? What?" So my buddy goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "Our house is a wreck all the time." And I was like, "Dude," I'm like, my wife goes on Facebook, and in her fantasy land, everybody's living their best perfect life. Everybody's bed's made, their laundry's put away, right? The dishes are done, the laundry's all put away.
Ooh,
you know, they dust it. Like, dude, you know
Where?
what I mean? Everybody's house is a shit dump, especially now that we're all stuck in them 24/7. Where do you have time to clean when everybody just keeps making a fucking mess? Where would you have time? All you would be doing would be cleaning.
Oh my God. And that's all my girl. That's all Danielle wants to do. She loves cleaning. But even then, so like, remember when we all got on lockdown and then everybody spring cleaned the hell out their house? Now I feel like we've, you know, I'm just like, shit, I want to do another deep clean, but I'm not cleaning all day. Like, for a while, like, I've been like, I'm not continuous cleaning. Like, I felt like there was nothing else to clean. So now, like, my house is back to normal. It looks like a 5-year-old lives here. It looks like people live in this house, and that's fine. As long as my rule was, as long as my like show areas were always decent, showable, I'm good. My personal spaces, don't ever go in my room because that's my personal space. It's not nasty, it's whatever. But yes, I am that guy that Danielle yells at me all the time. Stop dropping your clothes off right where you get off by the. But yeah, I definitely leave my clothes right where I take them off at, and I'll get to them when I get to them. That's
yeah. You leave yours right where I leave mine. You know, it's funny. I basically told my wife, like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, just everybody's just getting by. And then she just didn't make dinner tonight, as I told you before the show, Rob, because she just didn't feel like it. I didn't realize I had actually encouraged that in a big way. That's what I did. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's so funny. You know, I that's why I think that's why I try and cook as much as I do. So then that way, like, when I really just don't feel like cooking, I can really say, you know what, I don't feel like cooking, because I always cook, and I can have a legitimate reason. Like today I did. I was like, it felt good to just say I want to do something easy, and it was like fried fish. It was fish and chips. So I fried some fish, made some French fries, put the French fries in the oven. There's dinner. They went, and that was the thing. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna go out and eat and get some drinks." I was like, "Perfect. I don't have to cook anything major for y'all. Like something nice and easy." That, you know, those are the joys I enjoy. You know, let them do all the extra shit.
I made myself a Dagwood Bumstead type sandwich.
I was just about to ask you, what did you make?
Sandwich, just like there was stuff falling out of the sandwich. It was so big and fat.
What kind of meat did you have?
There was ham, salami, turkey, cheddar cheese.
Ooh.
I had stacker pickles, lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise.
That sounds bomb.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I had a hankering. I bought me a bag of Fritos the other day.
Ooh, you had the Fritos too? There you go.
What a perfect like, side dish.
So, okay, question. Back in the day, what was your like munchie meal?
Probably the grilled ham and cheese sandwich. I mean, that's dude. Oh yeah.
Okay.
You ever hook that up late
yes.
at night? You're like, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Get the butter on the back of that bread. Throw your cheese on there. See, I don't understand people that make grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's boring.
You don't have any imagination. You don't have no creativity. You don't know how. I'm sorry. Like
I literally put something on that.
I made myself a buffalo chicken grilled cheese the other day because Donnie,
Banging.
he loves grilled cheese, like plain grilled cheese, which I'm cool with. I will make you eat. Bam, bam. That's done. But I spruced mine up. I got me some lettuce. I saw some lettuce from the salad that we had. Right. We had a rotisserie chicken left over. Chop that up real quick. Put that in the skillet. Hot sauce on some nice little hot spicy chicken sandwich, grilled cheese. That was like the best thing. It made me want to like open up my own like vending truck and like I got to start selling my own sandwiches. I'm eating breaded cornflakes sandwiches with turtles. That's what I'm talking about.
See, Quality Boy, by the way, that's Alexander's nickname. Quality Boy, they call him.
Quality Boy, okay.
And Quality Boy, if he knows one thing about me, I love sandwiches.
Sandwiches. See, okay, I'm gonna have to bring you to I'm gonna have to bring you to IHOP, and you're gonna have to bring me to your favorite sandwich spot. That's what we're gonna have to do, like a Rob and Joe Eats.
Oh man,
Joe,
I love sandwiches. It's funny everywhere I go. Like we went to Paris a couple of years back, the wife and I. And she's like, she wants to go to like fancy sit down dinners, whatever. And I'm all about grabbing a baguette on the corner, just a sandwich and
just go with
and then we went to New Orleans a couple years ago, getting to po' boy. I mean, if there's a sandwich to be had, I'm having it.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Me.
See, that's like I'm more of a I like being like I don't want to say the corner store sandwich guy, but like I definitely love the cart style meals, the vendors. I'm a vendor type guy. Like if I go somewhere and I see like a food truck, definitely all about the food trucks. I don't want like the rest. If I go somewhere, I would probably spend like maybe 1 or 2 restaurants just chilling out at the nice places, but more than likely I want to be at the home style. Like I'm asking somebody, yo, where can I get the best? What do you guys eat around here? Like that's my go-to when I'm traveling.
I think if there's one thing I would want to know how to do in the event of an apocalyptic situation is how to make and slice bread. Because meat, I can get meat and I can slice meat. That I can do. The bread's a problem. And
you can order that now.
Bread, cheese, meat, the Holy Trinity. It really is in my eyes. That is definitely the Holy Trinity.
Shit, and where I came from, it was bread and cheese. And sometimes you didn't even have the cheese. So you just put the 2 pieces of bread together and made a wish sandwich. Wish some shit was in between that shit and kept it moving.
That's awful. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
You've never heard of a wish sandwich? Oh man, those struggling days.
Can I tell you the stupidest thing I've seen in my entire life? In my entire life, day 4 in Paris, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm walking towards the metro or whatever lame shit they call it. And I go to grab a baguette, and these two, my wife got into like almost a shoving match with these 2 douchey French guys. And as you can imagine, me, I got a mouth.
Oh yeah, American.
And I start yelling at them, and I looked, and as we were like,
Joe, you can't go to jail in France.
Oh, I would have, and I said my piece, and then I looked over, and they were eating Subway.
So that's probably like some
dude.
Did you say where'd you get that from?
And Subway are huge with Parisians. And I would imagine some stupid tourist. Why would you go to Paris and get McDonald's? But it was literally the people who live there that were eating that stuff. And I don't remember. I yelled something to this guy about what kind of an asshole lives in Paris and eats Subway.
Well, they could probably say the same to you. I felt really
good about myself for that. I got to take the moral food high ground on a douchebag Parisian, like 25-year-old. Yeah, I felt good.
But you know what? They probably say that about you and whatever you were like grabbing. Like, who comes to petty and eats whatever the hell you were eating? I don't know, but that's funny. But I've noticed when I was in Qatar, when I was pretty much the Middle East, and then Germany, the McDonald's in the airport, their menu was super different. Like their burgers and shit were different. Like whatever. What's the McDonald's? The Big Mac. The Big Mac was different.
Different
like,
how?
Like the bun was not a seeded bun. It was just like a regular bun, and then it just had the Mac sauce, and then it was just like it wasn't even a Big Mac. It was just
Where was this?
In Germany.
The Germans not like sesame?
I don't know. But they said it was different. I don't know. I don't have a good German accent, but
I think my favorite thing about McDonald's is that like you could go and have that shit in New Haven or Philly or Atlanta, and it tastes the fucking same.
Well, remember
That's
when
the whole allure of McDonald's, right? You could eat that shit anywhere, and it's just like like your home.
But like in like Indonesia and shit, like I can't remember where, but like they had like certain burgers and certain like buns and shit, like certain different menus and all this. I can't remember exactly where, but I just remember that we all got Big Macs, and I was pissed because all of our Big Macs looked the same. It just looked like a regular hamburger with fucking Mac sauce. But like from Pulp Fiction, liver cheese.
The lay Royale with cheese.
It's called Daily Dough. Oh, what's up, Frank? Frank's in the building.
Yeah.
Man. So
got a nice crew hanging out here watching tonight. I appreciate everybody.
So it's winter. Well, I'm not gonna say winter is here, but winter is definitely coming. It was fucking brisky. And then I realized that even like now I see it through the video, my lips are chapped as shit. So which brought me to the question, like, culture wise, I know, so when I think of like moisturizing and lotion and like, I feel like that's a black thing. I feel like it's really just more for like, not for black people, but I feel like black people, people of color really moisturize more than people of non-color.
Is this like an ashy elbows thing?
Yeah, like an ashy thing. So like my question is, one, do you moisturize? Do you moisturize? Do you use lotion, Joe? Or do
I'll tell you this. All right. I know black people moisturize their elbows. That I do know. Had a lot of black friends over the years.
No. So you really think we just moisturize our elbows? And
no. I know you moisturize more than your elbows. It seems to start with the elbows. And here's why it's interesting for me. Because I always just associated that with black people. Whatever. Not like in a bad way, but just I get it. Now I'm 45 and I find I'm moisturizing. Generally, it starts here and then it kind of goes up. Like, two things have happened in the last year. One since COVID and the other just because the moisturizing started probably about last year.
Okay.
I really started to notice even my knees got a little bit like dry, and I was like, oh my God, like I should have one of those ancestry tests. What's going on here? So I think I need to find some things out here. And the other thing is, and this is kind of stupid. You could see how my hair is. Mm-hmm. It's very pretty. My daughter told me today it looks like Flynn Rider from Rapunzel. Great movie. I just started using for the first time in my life. I started using conditioner.
There you go. Can I get a little head flip? Can we get a little? Ooh, look at those, Carl. Look at that. You should be Head and Shoulders. Woo! There's a bunch of black girls jealous of you right now.
I got to tell you something. I conditioned my hair once by accident because I thought it was shampoo. And then I was like, oh my God, I can't get it out of my hair. What is going on? And so conditioner, I think is so weird. And when I decided to grow my hair in for the pandemic. I just thought if I'm going to be home, fuck it.
Right.
And so my wife was like, you start conditioning it. And I've been conditioning for some time now.
There you go.
And I got to tell you, not only does it look amazing, but to put your hands in it, for the love of God.
Yeah.
So people might want to laugh at moisturizing or conditioning, but, I think the ladies have been on to something for some time. And apparently so have the black dudes.
See,
there's something to this.
So I'm telling you, so growing up in a black household, like I would always get yelled at, like, you better put some lotion on. Don't go out my house looking ashy. You look ashy. Hands look ashy. Always, because skin would get crazy, right? So then as I got older, especially I got into the military, you like to get lotion and shit like that, but you're a guy. So like, I wasn't like into like the fancy lotions and stuff like that. I just got lotion. But then you start to realize that certain lotions work for like certain times of the year. Like my thing is like Jergens. So Jergens, I like the cherry vanilla, smells amazing on me. You know what I'm saying? But you can't wear that in the summertime because you're literally just going to be sweating and dripping, just, you know what I mean? And just, it's nasty. So I have to switch to oil. So now it's getting colder again. So now you got to get to that kind of, to me, I have to get to that kind of creamy space. And you're looking at me like, you're talking about oil? Going to oil? Yes. Yes. Summertime, you have to go to like an oil base, or like what I go to like a cocoa butter oil or like a vitamin E oil type thing.
Okay. All right. I've seen it. I'm familiar.
So, but you have to adjust to the climate. So now, like, the fall is weird because you could literally take your shower in the morning, put some lotion on, and be like, oh yeah, it's chilly out. By noontime, you're sweating balls and it's just nasty lotion sweat because it's just too hot for the shit. So I'm like, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm starting to get to that cold spot and like my hands are starting to crack. I went to go get some lotion. The lotion I want has been out for like the past 2 weeks. I don't know what the hell who's stealing lotion. I don't know whose son or what group of children have found their like happy spot during COVID, but please return the Jergens lotion to Target. I definitely need some. Not say that it's out, but at my store it's definitely out. So that's my kind of little rant for this week.
You're suddenly making my hands feel really dry.
See?
Yeah.
See?
I didn't there. The more we're talking about it, the more I'm like, oh, you know what? I could use a little moisturizer on these pups.
And then I think that was another thing. So I was super happy, like having grown up like by women, because they will always tell me about my hands. So as you get older and start, intertwining with the women, the young ladies, they would always compliment me on my hands and on my arms because everything was so soft, so they would always love touching my arms or holding me, and nothing wrong with that, good little play, and now you see what that's landing me. But talking about I guess pampering ourselves as men, even though now that it is winter, I am happy because that means hoodie and sweatpants season for me. That's like fall, winter. That's where I feel like I dress the best, because as a big guy, I feel like that's where we shine. Because I mean nowadays in society, we can let our big self out in the summertime, and I think like the big guy's still in, but like wintertime, I feel like hoodies, sweatpants, boots, it's the big guy's time.
When everyone's puffed out in the winter, all things equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like ugly people with the masks right now. You have nice eyes, dude. You're made in the shade. This is your time to shine, baby.
Yep.
Take advantage.
Right. Which I was gonna say, Costco needs to re-up on my Champion sweatpants, because I don't know where the hell my sweatpants went, but they're all gone. So Costco needs to hurry up and re-up on those Champion sweatpants.
I just bought the most comfortable pair of sweatpants, and they're the kind of sweatpants I got them at Target.
Okay.
Oh my god, I froze for a minute. I was like, "What's the store with the big red lettering in front?"
Big red Target.
I don't go out much anymore, but my favorite pair of sweatpants, I tore a hole in the knee, as you'll do when you have a favorite pair of sweatpants, and you just wear them until till eventually part of your body just rips through them.
And she told you to throw them out because you still.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. I usually cut them in the shorts by then, which I get mocked for, but that's fine. No, I did, but I got these. They got pockets, and they're thick, but not weird thick.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
Nice.
And they're not fitted, but they're not loose. They look nice. I'm actually still wearing them. I don't know why I said I wore them like it was earlier. And they're a dark gray. If you're looking quick, it almost looks like a slack.
Ooh.
Until you look at it, and you're like, oh, I see what you got there. Sweats.
You got some.
Yeah. I wore these to my real estate office today, and nobody was like, seeing sweats? Because I wore a pair of black loafers with it.
Ooh. So what are those the jeggings? The jean jeggings? You got some jeggings on?
I guess you could say they're sort of jeggings.
So sweat. Oh, I'm not even gonna try and put that shit together. Sweggings.
It's too hot to wear sweatpants.
What?
Oh wait, doesn't Frank live in Florida?
Oh yeah.
Is it still hot in Florida?
Yeah, it's still hot.
It must be.
Yeah, they're all losing their mind in Florida. They're
still at the beach giving each other COVID. Cut that shit out, people. Stop it. Stop it, because the rest of us would eventually like to get to a beach.
Yeah, eventually, maybe in another country. I was supposed to be on a beach in another country this year. Thanks, COVID, for ruining that. What the hell is you talk about? You talked about the chocolate woman lotion. Now you're hosing these. We're getting there, Frank. We're getting there. Matter of fact, what I did want to talk about, though, since we're on clothes, women. I'm not even gonna get to that because I had an argument, not an argument, but it was a conversation of women. It's being so hard for women to shop and why women take so long because they don't have anything to shop for. The stores or whatever are dead. And I was like, bullshit. There's nothing for guys to wear. Women have everything in the shopping capacity. I don't want to hear it. And that was kind of like going into the bait for my sweatpants and shit like that.
Well, real quick, this is the stupidest. I can't stand this about clothes. You talked about how this is a great season. I love this season. I like a nice big heavy like thick hooded sweatshirt. Like that's great. That's what everybody should wear all the time because I don't care what you look like and I'm not really impressed by your physique. So stick it. Lately I've noticed that whenever I go shopping for clothes now, for some reason, like and not necessarily fitted, but like I remember when like a medium was a medium and a large was large. And now larges are like mediums. I don't like that. Now I put on an XL and I'm like, motherfucker, don't make me, I gotta buy a 2X. This is bullshit. I'm not any bigger. The fucking clothes are smaller. I'm not buying it. I understand what you're fucking doing. And I'm not going for it anymore. Rob, they're bullshitting us. The clothes are getting tighter. I swear to God. And there's two places I end up shopping just because that's where my wife tells me to go when I need clothes. I go to Kohl's or I go to stupid Target. Okay. And the same shit I've noticed. All the shirts, used to be able to get a shirt, it was a little bit of space you could move. Now, man, it's everything is like super. Like you're like, oh, I gotta walk around like this all day. Like,
this is a 2X. I think this is a this is a 2X. And I'm like,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
245. I'm 240. I'm not. I used to be a 2X, and this is
2X bullshit.
Yeah. It's 2X fitted. Probably that's what they're gonna call it, fitted. But anyways, it's fitted. It's not fitted. These fucking standards of relationships. Oh, here we go. Hold on. We got some. When you get up to the big man sizes, all the brand shirts, so
Jace, it's all bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's stunningly bullshit. And it used to, because I understand where women are coming from. Because like nowadays, I never did this before, Rob. In the last couple of years, you know what I've had to do when I go to these stupid stores? I have to try shit on.
Mm-hmm. True.
I could walk in and I could be like, oh, a fucking white button down. It's perfect and it's my size. And I would take it home. And 3 days later, I had to wear it. And I would literally take it out of the fucking package. I don't even steam it or anything. Just put it on. I get a pin or two in the neck, pull it out, and I'm on my way. Now I pull that shit out and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't get the button and the sleeves are like up to. I've been wearing the same size shit forever.
Yeah. And then you get a different brand, it's a whole different fit.
Oh my God, man.
And when you bring it up.
Here's the worst. I've been buying Hanes boxer briefs since 1996. Okay. I think that was the first year they even came out with those fucking things. 1996. And I love them. Mm-hmm. I've been wearing literally, I think, the XL since like 2002. Okay. Yeah. I think it was large the first year. 6 months ago, I bought a 6-pack of the extra same color and everything, black and gray. That's it. There's 3 blacks, 3 grays. That's all you're getting. I put these sons of bitches on, Rob.
No.
These are. It was the same package. Everything on the label was the same. This is not the. I know. This is not. These are not the same ones.
No, I feel you. I get this. Yeah, I feel you. I get the same band. But yeah, I'm yeah. So Haynes man. Jay's got the jokes today. Haynes is working with the bands. Well, there's a lot of information. See, informative. See, look at all the information you get on the I'll Piss You Off Shortly podcast.
People ask me about this show. And I tell people this is my favorite show to do because this is the show where I most feel like I could just speak my truest mind.
That's what it's about.
And it feels good.
Oh, shit. That's what this all would well, that's what I wanted this to be about. And I tell people this all the time. Like, this podcast is not for them. This is for us. This is for us just to off our shit and literally just have a judgment-free song and just, piss people off shortly, right? Which I'm definitely about to do in a second. And I don't know if Jess will stay on for this or if we have any other women. Yep.
Hang on real quick. Can I just address Frank? Fuck you. Just kidding, Frank. Yeah, maybe I put on a couple of pounds. So what? So what? That area is all pretty much the same. You know what I mean? Like, there's not much difference.
You know what? I don't want to know nothing about that area. We'll let your wife stick to that one. That's what you should do. You should compare. You should put on one of your old sets and one of the new sets and stand there and see if she notices a difference. Just, in your own personal time, just see if she sees a difference.
A buddy of mine I saw today said to me, "Are you losing weight?" And I was like, I mean, not purposely. Do you think I'm on a diet? Or, like, what?
Do I look sick?
I don't know. If I've lost weight, it's because, I don't know, like ice cream is not as readily available in a pandemic. I don't know. I hate when people say shit like that. Oh, you look like you lost some weight. Oh, why? Was I so disgusting before? This more acceptable to your eyes? Thank you, Your Highness.
What did you think about me before?
Yeah, serious. I hate that. You don't say that to people.
That's just some small talk shit that people.
No, I know he was.
And stop it.
I know he was being nice, but it's not. You know what I mean? What if I would have been like, "Oh, you look a little fatter than last time I saw you. Looks like you've been eating a little bit."
I was about to say, I wonder if that's like the nice way of saying, "Hey, you're looking kind of big there."
It is, but again, I think we're talking about men and women here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those things where, like, a woman comes into work and you're like, "Hey, look at you, baby doll!" Like, shut the fuck up! You think she put that outfit on for you? Jesus Christ! No, nobody. Like, here's my again. You everybody know what the number one rule on this show is. The one Joe commandment is, don't be an asshole, right? So why would you look at somebody who's clearly got fucking weight issues? You think I don't know that? I mean,
is that equivalent to, are you pregnant for a minute?
Dude, I was just about to say that. I'll tell you a great story about that. I was 12 years old, dude. That's how long I've been fighting this battle. I'm like fucking Oprah. I'm like skinny. I'm fat. I did fucking CrossFit for years. I had like a 6-pack 5 years ago. Now I'm like, fuck it. I don't want to put that much effort in if that's what it means. If I have to work out 6 days a week for a 6-pack of abs, then fuck it. Good. I'll just take the 1-pack and work out once a week.
There you go.
But yeah, so some years ago, a good friend of mine, and she does have a son now. But she didn't back then, and her and her husband were trying, and it wasn't going well, and she wasn't exactly she was probably in her late 30s, and might even have had a miscarriage at one point. But this was one of the most awkward moments I've ever had the satisfaction of being in.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a real estate office, And there was only one black guy that worked in the real estate office, Rob. And he was like a 60-year-old gentleman. Like everybody loved this guy. He was just like a handsome old black guy with a mustache, with gray hair.
Yep.
Nice as the day is long. And I'm sitting with my friend one day, and she just happened to be wearing a shirt, one of those like lady shirts, kind of flows out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And she and I were standing there on the computer. We were printing something up, and he walks by and he looks at her and he goes, I almost wanted to say her name, but I won't. But he was like, oh, he goes, are congratulations in order? And she said, and this is where he should have taken the cue, right?
Yeah.
She said, for what? And
he kept going.
He said, it looks like someone's expecting.
Oh.
And she said, expecting what, Bill? And that's when I looked at him and I was like, dude,
cut the cord.
What are you doing?
Stop.
What are you doing?
Control and delete.
Listen, he was like the nicest fella in the world. He felt really horrible. And like he and I, we played poker a few nights later at another buddy's house. And he defended himself. He was like, well, she looked pregnant. And I know she was trying to get pregnant. And I was like, yeah, but you're not supposed to ask. That, I mean, right? Like, oh, wow, look at you. Looks like you lost some weight. It's like, yeah, I've got cancer. Thanks, you fucknut.
But it's
maybe there's something. Maybe there's something to it. Is all I'm saying. Don't assume. Don't comment on people's appearances.
Yes, very true.
And unless they're like fucking devastatingly handsome, you can be like, Rob, look at your face. You're like a great God. God damn it, you're beautiful.
You got to be careful a little bit.
But if I was like, Rob, you got a really small head, but it's starting to look normally. Like, what the fuck?
Your head's starting to fill in,
That's right. Yeah, your head's finally growing into your stupid body. That's called a backhanded compliment. It's not nice. It's not meant to be. You know what I mean? It's like if I told a highbrow joke and you got it, and I'm like, oh, look at you, dumbass. Got that one, did you? That's not a compliment. That means I didn't think he would get it.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
Backhanded compliments are bullshit. And don't comment on people's bodies unless you want to get punched.
Yeah, Jay. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, stop calling Joe fat for all of you guys, because that's the second person that's done it in like 2 weeks.
Listen,
right?
By the way, this is the smallest I've been in like 4 years. So bite me. The fuck are you talking about?
That's the same here. Same here. I when I got out the military, I was 309. 309 pounds. Military.
No shit, really?
309 pounds. I'm 245 now. Weighed myself. This morning I was 242, and then I drank a bunch of Sprite and I ate a bunch of candy. So I'm just gonna say, 245 even.
I've never hit 270 on the scales, but only because when I thought I might be over 270, I never got on a scale.
Never got on the scale.
So I may have been closer to 3. I just never documented it in any way, shape, or form. So we'll never know. I'm currently 238 is my official weigh-in as of today.
There you go.
I am 4'11". So no, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit. So what I wish was 4'11"? I wish my bank account was 4'11". And apparently women expect men to have just come out, just ready with a 4'11" bank account. And I know 4'11" probably doesn't sound big, but if you start thinking about it. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, since we were talking about men and women in this argument, because it's been on the back of my mind and I wanted to kind of pull us away from us talking about our physical features. Apparently there's a war. Well, not a war, but apparently there is a new standard. And I'm so glad that we are mature and we are in relationships with mature women, that I understand there's a whole thing about men being gentlemen and what do we call it? I was about to say being frugal. which is what I'm definitely trying to be now. But serious. What the fuck is it? Being the man, being the lead, being the provider, being the majority provider, right? So apparently now, like, women just expect men. And I talked to a couple young dudes, younger guys. I shouldn't say young dudes younger than me that are single and dating, and they confirm that like women want guys that come out paying for like expensive designer bags, rent, car notes. Just like sending random like cash app.
Who wants that? Whores?
Whores, yes.
Yes.
Whores.
Well, whores have always wanted that.
And
they
girls
just do it online now.
OnlyFans and all this other stuff. So, all right, Pete, right? So I'm sitting here scrolling down my timeline and I see like a bunch of girls just going off talking about this girl named Sweetie's right. And I had to look up who this girl Sweetie was. Apparently, Sweetie is the girlfriend of one of the members of the Migos. If anybody's not familiar with the Migos, go do your Googles. They're a rap group. But anyways, so rap group, a girlfriend of a rapper. And apparently she said, if your man is not buying you Hermes or Hermes, or Birkin Hermes bags, which pretty much $20,000 bags, and paying your bills to send them back to the streets. What that means is pretty much leave him where he is, break up with him if he's not doing these things for you. So I go on Twitter just to see what kind of like the temperature is, because I like to go on Twitter to, do a nice little temperature check to see what, people are talking about. And girls are literally like co-signing this shit. Like, yeah, I need my man to pay for this. I need my man. If you're dating me or if you're talking to me, yeah, you need to pay for it. I'm like, what? First and foremost, if you let me rephrase this. Gentlemen, young men, any kind of man out there, you should not be supporting any woman's habits that they cannot afford themselves. And I am so sick of seeing this narrative. And even like, and maybe it might be just me getting old, but like in a lot of the music and stuff, and I know a lot of women are going to start hating me and like, oh, taking away from women empowerment. Like, yes, make your money the way you can, but using it off a guy, like using men to get money or expecting a man to pay for everything, expecting a man to be that like person, like while you have a full job for me to still pay for your bills and pay for you to get shit done or get stuff done. No, not happening. I don't know what the hell's going on in this generation, but y'all fucking tripping. And what's crazy, like I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, we're talking about $20,000 bags, but even if you drop it down to a smaller level, right? We have a Louis Vuitton store in West Farms. There's a Coach store and all this. You know how many young boys I see coming out of that store? Quite a lot. And I'm piecing it together, like, really, that y'all are out here buying these chicks fucking bags that they can't afford by themselves, that they will not, have the audacity to purchase for themselves. On the other hand, y'all are like actually getting in relationships with women that literally expect you to do everything. I remember talking to my dad growing up. He was like, yeah, I provide for your family, but anything that like your mom wants to do, she can do it, or like she pays for herself. She, she lives like I support my family, but like I can understand that, right? So even now, like I sacrifice and do a lot of things for my family, but if I was just in a relationship, I don't see myself like paying somebody's bills and buying them $20,000 or $1,000 bag just because. Y'all tripping. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of rambling, but like it just blew my mind, Joe. Like what's not to be in your pockets, but like think about like the most expensive thing outside of like a wedding ring or a house that you bought your wife.
Well, so
like
it's
and that's the thing. wife versus girlfriend as well too. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've probably bought girlfriends of mine in the past expensive $500-$600 pieces of jewelry. I know I bought a pool stick for a girl I was with many years ago for like $450. I've dropped, but on things that make sense.
Exactly.
Like for my wife and I, my wife is amazing because she doesn't like material things. My wife wants a trip. You know what I mean? My wife is like, let's get tickets and go see this together. Like for my wife, it's awesome because, and I know she's watching and she's watch it. She just said, my wife, the best gift I could give my wife is a trip to somewhere where I could go with her and we could do some cool shit together.
Okay.
And then we could talk about it forever and bore our fucking friends with a story where I started and she ends it. You know what I mean? Yeah, one of those. And that's what it is. And so that's what we do. I've never been a big when I was younger, I was a gift buyer, but I was mostly buying gifts because I was cheating on them. And it made me feel less like an asshole if I bought them something because I knew, like, well, you know, I know I cheated on her with her best friend, but I did just buy her, little diamond studded earrings.
And that was my next thing. Like, wait, like, really, like, do you really like coming from like getting those kind of goods? Do you really think that, like, and especially that kind of caliber, like, it's not, I don't want to say make it up for something, but you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see like just randomly like, okay, bet another one of those guys, Cardi B's husband or whatever. He did all the cheating and whatever. She was divorcing him, but now she's back with him because he bought her little statement was, oh, he bought me a Rolls Royce with a custom Rolls Royce baby seat. You think I'm about to leave him now? Like, really? Is that the mentality? And not to sit there and say, like, I haven't spent some money on like exes, and even my girl now, like my girlfriend, she has, well, I've gotten her a designer bag and two, and like, but it's out of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that we could afford. It's something that we planned for, and like, it's nothing that she expects, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It's something that she had eyed for like a year and a half, saved up for the shit and got it. And now it's, you know what I mean? Like you said, we're trips onto things that are more sentimental, more memorable. So it just kind of just threw me for a loop. And I, you know what I mean? Just that, like, women are expecting these kind of like crazy things, and then like are mad at guys that are like, no, I want to do things 50-50.
Yeah, but you know what, Rob, not for nothing, how much of that has been brought on by guys and that machismo, like, you know, I'm a fucking baller. I mean, if you're gonna walk around, right, you're a baller, you got all this fucking money, you're big pimping and shit. If that's your play, then you gotta buy her shit. You have nothing else. You've got no game.
So are they fucking it up? Are they fucking it up for the real guys?
They're fucking it up. Well, they're not fucking it up for the real guys because the real guys are solid. We're good. We're good. Doing our thing.
I'm definitely happy with. And that's the thing. Like, that's another thing. Why would you want that kind of shit? Like, why would you want to be around that kind of female, that kind of woman? I'm sorry. My sister keeps telling me I gotta stop using female. Why would you want to be around that kind of woman?
Because she's hot.
I'm sorry.
Back to that conversation.
Back to that conversation. 35 and up is a lot hotter than 21 to 25 in my book right now. And that it's not just by physical traits. That goes with a lot more other things. So it's just like, I don't know. Maybe these guys will learn. Maybe these guys will learn and hopefully stop letting, like, I don't get it. You have a headache. You have somebody that doesn't probably know how to get off their phone. That probably wants to do TikTok all day, and they just literally keep becoming a liability to you. Not make, you know what I mean? Like, it blows my mind.
Do you know when they'll figure it out? They'll figure it out when they're older and they're grown up, and they're going to be looking at the next generation of buckos coming up and being like, "Look at these dummies." Because to me, it only gets worse by the generation. And again, stupid things I did 20 years ago. Again, I see a guy buying a girl flowers, and I'm like, oh, she don't even know what this fucker did. No idea. This relationship will be over in 3 months. And this girl is the happiest she's ever been because she got flowers, and her friends are like, oh, wow, he loves you. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
I've never sent anyone flowers that I really loved.
You know, I can't even remember last. Well, no, I got Danielle flowers a couple.
My wife hates flowers.
Like,
my wife thinks they're like so stupid.
I think they're a waste of money. Even like Danielle, she thinks she thought they were pretty, but they didn't last more than 2 days. I think they were like gone. I think she got rid of them like 2 days later. So yeah, they're a waste of money. But you know what's not a waste of money? And you know what? Like I can't wait to have a daughter so I can gift her with this, and I hope my daughter can be so excited. Are Glocks. Check this out. No, Facebook did it again.
Wow.
They took it off. Oh, so the video, they always do this to me, and it sucks because damn, really? Why? And that
it
sucks.
was literally it was there like 5 minutes ago. It was just there.
Oh my god. So the video is of this beautiful, beautiful young lady. She's part of this group. I guess it's a bunch of sisters. I think it's 3 sisters, and they are super pro 2A. And she's just going on about why she loved Glocks, and she's showing off her collection of Glocks as well as like her other fire or handgun collection. And she's black too, like black young lady. Super, like you can tell. Like I looked into their YouTube page and like on their Facebook page as well. Because they're minors, I'm not gonna like publicly put them out there or whatever. But here we go. Survival sisters.
We're talking about my favorite subject, which is Glock. Glock girl is the Glock world. So basically, I'm gonna tell you now, you're safe. Calm down, you're safe. You don't care about me anyway, so this shouldn't be a big deal.
And I love her attitude about it too.
Like clear all 6 of them. So yeah, you can chill out. But anyway, this is my Glock collection. I have a Generation 5, 4, and 3. I'm looking for
Go ahead, girl.
one, but you're probably like, why does she have 6 right here and those aren't Glocks? Now, this is gonna feed into why I like Glocks.
I do disagree with her about Skill 6 though.
This is like Springfield, especially Springfield, Forrest, Smith and Wesson, Sig, all those. They're just imitations of the actual Glock. See, I
gotta talk to her daddy about that.
What the user wants and needs, and not what the market is selling. So let's just
listen to this knowledge.
Examples. Generation 5, right? Generation 5, it changed because 1, they took off the grooves, they gave it texture, they also gave it a railing for optics, and they also have it cut so you can cock it back easier. And I
would be so proud if that was my daughter.
Factory, we have one here, but it's right down the street from us. Therefore, we go there all the time. So if you go to the actual Glock factory, you can get night sights way cheaper than you can get it for anywhere else.
And she knows where to get the discounts.
Like. Now we're going to talk about the safety. The most safety that you have is your hand. Make sure your finger is never on the trigger at all. But I also like Glock because it has a lot of safety, like warnings. If you cock it back, you can see it. You can see through it, all that.
That's the only thing I have to correct her on. There's not that many safeties on a Glock. None at all.
This is one, and I'm going to get them. But thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Survivor Sisters, follow our Facebook at The Survivor Sisters, and also follow our Instagram at Survivor Sisters 3.
I'm gonna let them plug. Now that's something I can support. Now I want my daughter to sit there and be like, you know what? No, you don't have to get me that. But what does your gun collection look like? Because my daddy bought me all these, and that's how I want to spoil my daughter. If I'm gonna do any spoiling, that's what I'm doing. That just warmed my heart. Like, if I would be so proud if that was my daughter. I felt like, and I had to share. If I'm going to be doing some tricking on any girl, it's going to be on my daughter. And she has to have a nice handgun collection just like that. Joe, you're like, what?
Well, I was just looking at, I'm sorry. There's great comments tonight. You guys have distracted me a couple of times. When Rob couldn't think of that word earlier, it was because I was reading something that somebody wrote about how handsome I was. I think it was Quality Boy. I was totally just, you were like, oh, what's that word? And I was like, shit, I wasn't even listening. I have no idea because Quality Boy said no matter how fat I am good looking, which is.
That's all that matters.
Again, that's not a compliment, though.
I would love to know how many firearm owners have this much knowledge about the firearms as this young lady. Exactly. And honestly, I would love to know how many people that are against firearms actually have that much knowledge as that young lady. And I think, honestly, one, it's very important. I'm so proud that she has that kind of knowledge. And 2, that it's not like looked at like, oh my God, why is she know this about that? Like that's the primary thing. Like, I go over firearm safety, not saying physical right now, but just mental, and going over steps with Donnie now, because I know eventually he's going to be old enough where he's going to see my firearms, and where, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that he's going to be able to access them, but he'll probably see me carrying one day. He's probably going to see that, you know what I'm saying? So started now, and they don't have to be a boy. They don't have to be a girl, and they don't have to be white, you know, and it's a black young lady. Black Queen made me very proud.
Let me tell you something. Here, my feeling on gun ownership, which I am very strongly in support of, but my thought's always been this: everybody should know their guns or their weapons like that young lady does. And I believe truly that the majority of people who are gun owners in this country are at least as knowledgeable as that young lady is. I really do believe that. I think that there's plenty of morons. I think too many people do have guns, and I think that we should really limit who does. You know, I don't mean limit like just a few. I think that there's too many. I think you should trim the fat a little bit. I think everybody, tell me I'm wrong here. We all know that one dude that's got guns that we're like, that fucking dude shouldn't have guns.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We all know that. And maybe it's all the same dude, but we all know him.
No,
and somebody's got to get his fucking guns away. So that's true. That I think that definitely is a problem.
So I completely agree, and I like you said, that one guy is one too many. But then I think about it, and I'm like, shit. Am I that one guy? My family could look at me and be like, yeah, Rob don't need to have guns. I am also the same guy that definitely wanted to bring my handgun to my bachelor party. But then a couple weeks later, they were like, why are you bringing a gun to a club? And then Orlando, the gay club, got shot up. And I was like, hey, remember you assholes? We were like, hey, who would shoot up a club? And
yeah. You could bring up the Pulse nightclub as a time where having a gun would have been a good idea, but you could also bring up New York Giant Plexico Burris as far as bad times to have a gun. Also, if you're going to wear sweatpants in public, don't put a fucking gun in your band. That's a horrible idea.
I was just about to say that goes back to those stupid people that should not own firearms. You know
Precisely. Also, so, dude, listen, Plexico Burris, for anybody that doesn't know him, Google him, because he's an amazing story on top of the football world. When the Giants beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl, the next season, 12 weeks into the next season, the Giants were 11-1 or 10-1 on their way to maybe another Super Bowl. And this dumbass with an expired gun from a different state is in New York, taking his unregistered, like expired registration to from New Jersey to New York, and then shoots himself in the thigh.
And you guys got him from us.
Yes. I mean, good Lord, man. This is my other thing. I would say, you know, it's funny because it's like free agency time for baseball and basketball. Yep. And this is the time of the year where people like you and I pretend that we have like a degree in business management and sports management, and we know what it fucking takes, right, to put a franchise together to win a chip. We all know. We all know because we've been watching it from the outside for years. It's my favorite time of the year just for that, because this is where you find out how full of shit people are. Because right, Rob, let's be honest, you wouldn't have the first fucking clue how to like run a franchise.
No, not at all.
Right? Like none. You would. I'd like to think I would. I know my first day, I'd be like, all right, I have no idea what I'm doing here. How does this work? How does this really work?
Cap again? How can we? How much room do I have to move again? Who has what on their contracts?
Yeah.
Somebody give me an assistant. Now. But, oh, geez. But yeah. Fuck, what were we talking about?
Oh, yeah. Plexo. So what was I going to say?
Verse.
When a team doesn't want a guy who's supposed to be good, why don't they want him?
Because he has issues. He had a
Right.
lot of issues, and that's
Man,
why
that
we
guy's
got
great.
rid of him.
He's the missing piece on my team, and it's like, well, that team was happy to part with him. That doesn't sound like a good piece.
I don't remember I don't know if you remember the story, but when he was in Pittsburgh, he had like a whole like mental breakdown in the locker room that they tried to hold, like keep all down and like quiet about, which like came out after he left. And there were just like a lot of people who even said, they were like, yeah, he's fucking weirdo. James Harrison even was just like, yeah, he definitely wasn't fucking right in the fucking head. So
what is it with wide receivers not being able, like being so like irrationally emotional? Dude, think about it. Like Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Antonio Brown, Ocho Cinco. I mean, has there ever been a wide receiver who's not a giant bitch? Ever since Jerry Rice retired, you become a good receiver. And it's like, now I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling about everything.
Yep.
Oh, especially Odell. God.
Jeez, man. You ask and you should, I don't know. They're the fucking weirdos.
That's what the position should, the number one receiver spot on team should be called the DQ.
The DQ?
Yep, the fucking drama queen. That's what that position should be known as.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
Oh, I got OBJ on my fantasy team. He's going to be my DQ this year. That should be a spot on the fantasy roster. Every time your DQ bitches about something in practice, you get 6 points for the week.
That's funny. Oh, man. So, you know, talking about drama queen, you know, one of my favorite drama queens, Jack Nicholson and Batman. He was the best drama queen playing the Joker. And I don't know who could ever play a better drama queen than him. Well, maybe, you know, I can't even say Heath Ledger, because Heath Ledger wasn't a drama queen. He was like a sadistic, just like crazy psycho. But with that being said, another great sponsor of this episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly, the You Know Jack podcast.
When I was 12 years old, I became a Jack Nicholson superfan. This happened almost overnight on an evening in February 1997 when I first saw The Shining.
Here's Johnny!
In those 20-plus years, I never stopped being a Jack superfan.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Get ready for You Don't Know Jack, hosted by me. Subscribe today on your favorite podcast platform.
Yeah, so that was You Don't Know Jack. I love that podcast by Sarah Demio. I am a big Jack Nicholson fan, and she is the super fan, and she's like the queen of all fans, Jack Nicholson fans. And she's informed me so much about him as an actor, and just in his personal life as well. So like, if you're a big Jack Nicholson fan, or if you've ever been interested in learning more about his acting career, his personal life, definitely the podcast for you.
This being episode 10 too, she's at the point of his career where he has his breakout role in Easy Rider.
Ooh.
So this is really where the podcast, I want to say is where it gets good, but this is where Jack's career gets really good and really takes off. And I was just talking to Sarah the other day. Her end game is to try to get a sit down interview with Jack Nicholson at the conclusion of this, basically going from the beginning to the end of his career over the course of it. It's going to be really cool. And so we're definitely doing whatever we can to try to get Sarah her moment with Jack, because he doesn't really do stuff anymore.
Yeah.
He's sort of semi-retired and out of the limelight, but we're going to bring him back.
That's awesome. That would be so dope. That would be so amazing. I can't wait to hear for that.
And one more piece of Joe trivia. I've only ever seen Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I've never seen another.
Really?
Movie. Yeah.
Huh. See, you gotta step your Jack Nicholson this filmography up.
Yeah, maybe.
No, maybe.
maybe.
Or if not, just keep listening to You Don't Know Jack.
That's the best way to do it.
That's the best way. And you can also find her on clovercrestmedia.com as well. Hey, I wish I had like a Suburban Woman to ask this question to. But unfortunately, I don't. I don't know if any suburban women are watching. I just want to know quickly, like, if suburban women were still in support of Trump. And because apparently that's like his last dying wish is to have suburban women fall back in his good graces, because as we know, that was pretty much one of his leading demographics that helped him win the election last election. And then it was interesting to hear his ploy to his outcry to the suburban women, saying that he was going to pretty much guard them back up, keep them safe, keep pretty much all the madness from the cities and the urban areas from getting to the suburbs. And then he's saying that they support him again, but apparently from a listening podcast, an article from the Daily Today, suburban women really aren't digging his style. So like is pretty much where I'm going at this with is one, I wonder if suburban women, i.e., well, first I wanted to understand who a suburban woman was, what the definition of a suburban woman was. And then two, to see if they're still in support of suburban women and why do they support Trump still, if that makes sense. At first I was gonna have a suburban woman come on here. Well, what I thought to be a suburban woman, but then I was quickly told that would be very highly inappropriate because it would seem almost racist. It could almost seem racist. Because literally my idea of a suburban was pretty much blonde hair, blue eyed, somebody that looked like Ivanka Trump. And I could not find one. So that would be willing to come on the show. And then the person that I did find said, yeah, no, that would be kind of racist, and they didn't feel comfortable coming on the show.
Wait.
Yes.
All right. Let me just flap my Flynn Rider hair back here just for a minute. You guys have no idea how smooth it feels in my hands. As
feels
I do
so
this,
good.
So a white woman.
Yes.
Didn't want to come on and talk about being from the suburbs because that would be racist.
She felt that it was a racist term that
suburban women
that I was trying to play off of to pretty much mock the conservative woman. And I said, no, this is what Trump said. I said, hey, Trump said, suburban women, please support me again. I'm going to be your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I just wanted to ask a suburban woman. And apparently me asking about a suburban woman was a racist way of saying I want to talk to a white woman.
Okay.
Or a conservative white woman. And that she felt offended.
I mean, I guess it would be like if I was like, I want to talk to a black basketball player.
The basketball player,
Right. A suburban woman is a white woman by and large.
And that's what I didn't get.
It just is. I don't know. See, look, I'll put it to you like this. This is where I think we start to get into some trouble in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I want to say probably right around Trayvon. So 2012, Michael Brown, 2014, Ferguson, the whole nine. I remember my kids coming home from school and saying, I remember one of my kids told me about, I think she said her friend's name was Destiny. And I was like, white or black? Just a question. Mm-hmm. And my daughter was like, what do you mean black? And I was like, is she white or black? And she was like, you're not supposed to. She did. She goes, you can't say that. And I was like, I think you're getting the words confused. I think black is okay to say. I think you're thinking of a different word. What? I can't say black. I can't say that black guy over there. You think that's racist? Like, what are you talking about? This is, and I'm seeing more and more of this, mm-hmm. where, or you'll see someone speaking and they're like, the blacks today. And then they're like, can I call them that? Yes. What? I think what people need to understand is mm-hmm. that sticks and stones. Now, It's the intent in which you use a word, right?
Well,
I mean, if we're
words, yeah.
talking about the suburban women that didn't support Trump in the last election, there's no negative connotation to them. And now that the suburban women that supported Trump are fleeing Trump in support of Biden, I don't see anything wrong with saying suburban women. I'll tell you what, there are a lot of women of color who are also suburban women who find his comments to be particularly shitty because they're like,
I'm in the
wait,
suburbs.
you're trying to save the suburbs for the whites,
yeah.
but I'm already here.
Oh yeah, and
I'm in the burbs. What are you talking about?
And it's good. I asked a bunch of I'm not gonna say. Well, I'm not gonna say not prominent, but I asked a bunch of successful Black women who live in the suburbs. I said, "Do you consider yourself a suburban woman?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Why? Why do you ask?" And they didn't even understand, or even not understand, but they didn't even realize he had spoken this at one of the rallies recently, or had been preaching this, in Ohio and Miami and all that. And so then they looked at it and was like, yeah, this proves even more that he's on the racist agenda. You know what I mean? Like, once again, we said it earlier on Divided We Stand, you don't have to blatantly call me the N-word to prove that you're a racist. You do it within your actions and speaking and riling up the suburban woman, and trying to separate them as a separate demographic, a white suburban woman, than from women in general. Even just the whole separation, if we relate it to all of society, right? Just the whole separation, and it correlating back to what you were saying, when your daughter was correcting you, were saying, I don't think you can say Black. I don't think she was saying, like the Black is a bad term, just pointing out that way. And even though I agree with you, like, it's not a bad thing. Like, sometimes you have to, describe something, you have to use the adjective, and Black is the adjective, right? But then again, it's like, when did we just stop being Black, white, Asian, and just start being Americans or shit like that? Like, even then, right? So, like, if somebody more on the MAGA side or conservative side will say, I'm an American, or this is America. No, this is the United States of America, not just America. Whereas they've really made it like America is deemed white, certain way, and nope, you're Black. You're not.
But
even
do you buy that? Like, I don't see race bullshit, though.
No,
I mean,
I don't buy that
because
they do.
But here's the thing, though, right? You could see it and just not give a shit about it. Like, I don't mean not give because you care about it, but like,
it doesn't affect
you see it, you acknowledge it, and it's just a non-factor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think ultimately, and I think for most people, that's what most people want. And I know a lot of people talk about I remember, man, let's say about 15 years ago, I remember, and again, I've been in the media business a long time. Every time the AP came out with a report, Rob, they would explain how people felt about it. And then it would be whites, Blacks, Hispanics. Never any mention of the Asians back in the day. Nobody cared, I guess. But I was always fascinated by, and I thought even back in the day, like, why is everything separated by race? Which is just a social construct, right? There's really no difference.
There isn't.
There's there's really no difference. Means there's no difference. There's actually no difference. And the more but again, this is why I keep saying the big problem we have is we're tribalistic in nature. And so it's not even necessarily that you're Black, I'm white. It's that you see people around you that look like you and think like you and act like you, and you would just naturally, as a human, you would gravitate towards that. And you could call that bias. You could call that whatever you want to call it. It's a thing. And we do it with religion. We do it with race. We do it with ethnicity. We do it. We love to, right? And then some people are in the Knights of Columbus. Some are in the Eagles, the Tigers, the Kiwanis, like, right? everybody's looking to get into a group, and you're just trying to like subgroup yourself, and that's what we do, right? We are constantly trying to like. I remember when Suburban Women were called soccer moms, and it was adorable. Everybody thought it was cute, and then all of a sudden, Karen got pissed off. We called her a Suburban Woman, and now we're the racists. Okay, how did that happen?
I don't know, and I don't even know. I got it from him.
Damn you, Karen!
I don't even know how I got it from him. But pipe down, Suburban Women. Hey, the election's on you guys. I guess you guys are the deciding vote.
Don't you love, though, that Suburban Women and Black Americans, that he's basically like, hey, why the fuck not?
And that's literally
your pitch.
That's it.
That's your pitch. Your pitch is like, oh, give old fucking Donnie a shot. Like, no, that's it. What are you kidding me? Come on, please vote for Donnie. Are you serious, dude? You were like, this is basically a month ago. He was like, look, the blacks and the Antifas wanted the suburbs, and I stopped them. And people were like, you fucking racist. And then he was like, please, anything, just Donnie Boy needs a vote. What kind of idiotic, like, thoughtless strategy was that? Did he think that was gonna work?
Yeah.
Like the Mexican. Here's the problem. Remember that Mexican caravan before the election?
The one that took forever and a day to get here?
Yeah.
That never got
the one that never really ended up materializing. I think once people were like, once he brought up like Antifa and BLM go to the suburbs and raping all the women, and people were like, oh my God. And then people were like, remember that Mexican caravan from the 2018 election? And people were like, oh yeah, bullshit. Right. Got it. I'll tell you what I think is really happening in this country is I think by and large, Rob, people are at the point now, he says so much of the same shit. So many of the same kind of lies where you hear it now and you're like, well, I believed it last time until it didn't happen. And then I explained to people that he didn't really mean it. Now that I know he's saying it again, he doesn't really mean it. I'm just going to cut the bullshit lie. We'll just get right to he didn't mean it. And so I think, I'm telling you, I think people are just generally rejecting things that he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason the Biden email laptop bullshit isn't going anywhere. It's over, and they know it's over. And I'm telling you, it would be a shocker. I'll tell you what, Dave Chappelle said it best. In 2016, the whites never surprise them. They never let them down. So we shall see. I like to think, again, after 4 years of this nonsense, that people are like hip to like, okay, we've been had.
I don't know. We'll see. You know what? I would like to think that suburban moms or the suburban women would kind of go against their like conservative counterparts. Like I would love to see like their reactions, like the husbands see their wives like not vote for Trump and vote for Biden.
You're gonna love this. I was just reading an article and I was tipped off to it by a good friend of mine who is a family attorney.
Okay.
And she said, and speaking to some of her other colleagues, that this election, on top of this pandemic, has led to an incredible amount of divorces.
Really?
Where these Trump supporting dickheads, the wives are like, fucking dude, you know what? You are an asshole and you're kind of a fucking racist.
What?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing. It's
Fellas,
a real
you heard
thing.
it first.
And I'll say this, it's funny, as I went from being a right-wing kind of guy to being a left-wing guy, it certainly corresponds to my daughters growing up and then marrying my wife. And I've had people that are like, oh, sex must be pretty good over there, right? to change all your I've actually been accused of that, Rob. Live on air, even, of changing my political vote to accommodate my wife.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, sure. It's pretty good, isn't it? Fact of the matter is perspectives change. And when you have a bunch of women in your house and they come armed with the facts, how do you look your daughter in the face and say, well, I'm going to vote for grab him by the pussy guy? I mean, if seriously, if you have daughters and you can look them in the face and you feel like a man and you're like, I'm voting for this scumbag, misogynistic, racist fucking scumbag, God bless your heart.
Yeah.
God bless your heart. But you know what? When your wife leaves you, when your daughter tells you to fuck off, you'll know why. You'll understand why. Listen, my thought is this, Rob, right? I like I said before, I never had a problem with Donald Trump till he became president. I kind of liked the guy. I kind of did. Really.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody is like pegging their fucking hopes and dreams on Donald, like, you're a fucking moron. Have you been around America since like the fucking 80s? Like, you don't see what a shitbag this person's been for fucking ever?
It's a great country.
Every single story about him is what a fuck. What? There's like 3 good stories about him. All the other ones are shitty. What are you people talking about? I don't get it.
I don't know. That it behooves me because honestly, I had a situation like that today. Matter of fact, this morning. So this I thought the guy. So here I am thinking this asshole, this racist, this fucking bigot. Me and him served in the military together, right? And we've always had like this football connection. He's a Tennessee fan. I'm a Florida fan. College football, and then even today, like, he got on his fucking high horse, and just let his conservative shit out, and it really, really fucking struck a nerve to the point where it was just like, who the fuck are you, and how do you think that you can, like, where do you get this information from to believe the mindset that you believe, and then to also disrespect and disregard the women in politics, the religions in politics, but then still feel like you're better than everybody else. Meanwhile, you've had 2 domestic cases, your own personal self, while I was in the military. Well, I'm sorry, 2 since I've been out and I've just known you through Facebook. 1 while I was in the military with you. Oh, by the way, you also had so many other alcohol. You had a DUI and so many other. But how are you greater and how are you the supreme being? How are you better than anybody in BLM? How are you better than anybody in Antifa? You have this shit on your fucking record. But because you're a conservative and now you fucking believe in God, this makes you fucking better than somebody? No, fuck out of here with that shit, dude. And with all these kind of fucking assholes, right? Matter of fact, I sent you the screenshots because I want people to see, and I'm gonna read a couple of them off. Because he really tried it, and then the way he decided to disrespect Senator Harris, calling her a bitch and a cunt because he doesn't agree with her ways. Like, where do y'all get off on that kind of shit? It really just blew my mind. So as I pull this looks kind of blurry on mine. Let me get on my shit.
Are these in order?
Yes, they are. It should be 1. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we'll start from right there. So this is me pretty much saying, let's see here. I'm replying to him posting a picture about Trump getting put on Rushmore, and saying that, like, everybody's gonna be crooked if Biden goes in, right? And he was like, yeah, he's been in the White House. I told him, I was like, the crook has been in the White House for the past 4 years. And then I proceed to ask him for a prime example or just to state facts of any of his accusations of Biden or Harris not being able to, of Biden's, give me an example of Biden being president and where he's failed at being president, in that kind of sense. And then he just goes off about his normal conservative rants of just bullshit false news, and then goes to say Kamala Harris and Biden. I mean, Kamala Harris is a bitch and a cunt, and that's where I just kind of went off at. I'll put, you guys can read it on the screen as they come up. But what really irritated me about it, and it wasn't the fact that, you know, he had an opposing view. It's just the fact that you white guys think that it's, and I'm not going to say you guys, white guys, but white men, white conservative men that think that it's okay. You might be okay disrespecting your culture and your race and shit like that, but we're not going to allow that shit. I'm not going to allow that shit to, especially if I hear it, especially coming from any white dude. You're not going to call a black woman, a person of color around me, a bitch or a cunt, and not think that you don't have something coming to you, or I'm not going to correct you. And this is, once again, somebody that I served in the military with. This is somebody who I have personally one-on-one late night consoled on the phone with, because he decided to have some emotional shit going by. And a lot of people were saying, oh, well, a lot of people were thinking, well, why are you having his shit out there private, public, his name out there? Well, guess what? You put the shit on Facebook, just like you guys like to try and send my information off to certain people to try and like get me to stop me from whatever the fuck I'm doing. I'm doing the same shit now. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of trying to save your guys' fucking privacy and all this. If you have the audacity and the balls to respond to me or to say these kind of things, I'm going to respond to you in the same nature, and I'm going to put you out on fucking Front Street. All right. So yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I love these. I'm reading through all of these. I think everybody needs to check these out.
I'm gonna put them on. It's gonna be on the I'll pitch you off shortly Facebook page. So,
you know, again, here's just from what I gathered out of there, the suggestion that Hillary, and now apparently, I guess Joe Biden, did he do Benghazi too? Is that what this dipshit saying?
That's what he was
saying. I mean, look, you know, for anybody who's got any questions, look, the Republicans just released their own findings about Obama and Hillary and Joe Biden. And fucking newsflash, dumbasses, ain't nobody in fucking handcuffs. Why do you think that is?
Can't find nothing.
Is it because Donald Trump just keeps saying stupid shit and you're like, they're going to come get Hillary today? Get the fuck out of here. What is wrong with you people? She would already be in fucking jail if she did something. Here's the fucked up part. Ready? With Donald Trump's Justice Department in place, 0 fucking Democrats in jail. No fucking Clintons, no Obamas, no Bidens. 0.
But guess
with Trump in charge, with his fucking people.
I was going to say, with his core.
Guess how many his fucking guys are in jail? 7, you fucking ignorant fucks. Is wrong with you? Fucking 7 of them.
Fucking retards.
All for the
Jesus. You guys got Joe so fucking hot, he didn't fucking got kicked off goddamn StreamYard. Y'all done got him kicked off the damn show. Got Joe kicked off. Fucking.
I flicked my pen and it landed on the fucking button and it took me out.
See, that only means Joe's about to go in on you fucking.
Yeah, not for nothing. What, only fucking Alex Jones can fucking shout? Is that what I'm to believe? I can't shout about what ignorant fucks these guys are? Why can't I be pissed off that there's so many people that are like...
You want to get pissed off again? Because we're gonna go right on into it. There was a bunch of other things that I wanted to get into, but we're already getting to the 145 mark. So let's go ahead and shoot straight over to another thing about you racist fuckheads. I was gonna talk about Trump and him being the only the least racist persons in the room, but we're not even gonna talk about that shit. I'd rather save that or not even just deal. I'm trying to literally stay Trump free. You notice we really haven't, like, we've talked about conservatives and shit like that, but we really haven't like gotten into the orange man really. I'm going to try and like end that off. And I really want to keep giving this power to like and empowering black women. So like, I'm going to kind of switch the narrative and we're going to just kind of jump in. We're at the 143 mark. And I really wasn't trying to have this go past 2 hours. So there's going to be some things. No, it's not your fault.
No, it is.
No, it's not, Joe. I be rambling, and a lot of people tell me like, "Yo, you be talking about some good shit, but sometimes you be rambling." I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I just got, I just be talking my shit. This is literally like for all those that have not met me in person or like are too scared to call the hotline because I don't know why haven't you guys called the hotline yet, but this is how I talk in person. I'm super chill. I'm super relaxed, and this is the whole reason why I made I'll pitch you out shortly. Because like I You can't go to the barbershops anymore. Even if the barbershops were normal, the barbershop is not the same barbershop that I knew growing up. You know what I mean? It's like all appointment based. You really don't get to meet people. You don't really get to sit there and wait people. You go in, and this is pre-COVID. So, you know what I'm saying? So this is my barbershop talk. Like we were saying, Joe, earlier, like this is where we can literally just let off and talk our shit and let the truth be out, right? So with that being said, you fucking conservatives have done it again in Texas with your fucking racism. You guys have tried to downgrade and belittle and berate another black queen, but guess what? She fucking turned the fucking whole thing around on y'all. What are you talking about, Robert? What are you talking about? Well, guess what? Tashara Parker, I don't want to say former. I believe she's still working. She just went on like a nice vacation. She decided to take some time off. But Tashara Parker, a TV broadcaster or news broadcaster for WFAA out of Texas. I'm not sure exactly. That says what, Fort Worth, Dallas area. Holy shit, how convenient, because both of these women were in the same area. I wonder if this is the same station. I should have did better research. But anyways, so apparently over this beautiful picture, this beautiful black queen, there was an outrage of her hairstyle. The conservatives down in Texas, the racists down in Texas said her hairstyle was not in professional manner, right? Let's hear. Just this week, a post went viral with almost 50,000 likes initially, and then it sparked a lot of conversation about her natural hair. And it was pretty much said that it was not professional looking enough to be on television, on news channel. All the white people.
She looks like a model. Who's pissed off about this beautiful woman? What is
angry white conservatives in Texas? Apparently, her hair is not to professional standards, and I don't know, Joe. Apparently this is a thing, and which I'm learning in media or in news broadcasting or just in general with these big corporations. There's certain standards, like the hair has to be straight, you gotta dress a certain way, but apparently, like, they let her out with this amazing hairstyle, that glowing skin. You see the oil sheen. You see that oil sheen? That's what happens when you moisturize. And she probably uses African soap butter, which is why her skin is glowing like that. But,
if I may, I don't know that I love the 4 round buns.
Okay. No, why is that? Well, visually, I mean, everybody
looks a little like Mickey Mouse. It looks like Mickey Mouse and Minnie are hiding behind her face. Well, so I put it to you like this. I've seen braids and I've seen dreads on men and women, and I don't understand why anybody thinks they don't look completely dope. Especially on good-looking black people, you know, when they got like the nice jawline
black people
and the dreads, it just pops. It's a good look. If you're ugly, you shouldn't have dreadlocks.
That goes
facts. And it's just not. Because it's meant to highlight your face. It is. I don't love this, but I think if she could have done more of a one puff thing, I think I just don't. The 4 is a little weird for me. Again, it's a preference. I don't find it not professional, and I understand that that's what black women's hair looks like. So, by observing the first rule of not being an asshole, I'm really more interested in that dress. The more we talk about her hair, the more I'm like, it's a nice dress. That's really where my eyes are actually looking. Yeah. And at the traffic, because I'm curious what the traffic and weather sitch is down there in Dallas Fort Worth.
Well, all I know is she looks amazing. And as far as like the styles, all right now, Jace, come on now. We're not gonna get respectful now.
That's a little bit funny because the Stegosaurus has
that is funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna say is that it was having that much hair, natural hair of hers. When you have that, I should have put some other pictures up there, but when you have that much volume of hair and you don't want it just all in your face, yeah, you put it in little parted styles and, you know, cultural styles like that, which I'm not necessarily like, if she came home and was like, hey, babe, like my hairstyle, it would be one of those, yeah, babe, it looks nice. You know what I'm saying? But I love it. She still looks beautiful nonetheless. The style is dope. I think it's very creative. So I appreciate that. But what I'm more, and I'm glad, she also made a statement saying, I'm grateful for those who, of those of you who continue to support me. I joked around asking people what they thought of the hairstyle, and overwhelmingly many of you supported it, but a few said it was unprofessional. It begs the question, who determines what's professional these days? And that was from Tashara Parker. And that's one of my questions, like, who determines that shit? Like, I know you've worked in media. I don't know if like radio broadcasting is different from like television or like
Rob, I think I told you the story. I had a student, a 19-year-old blackhead. With the, I mean, this kid had like, you know, when people that was smiling, like lights up the room, like that. He had that going on, and he had you know, like the little, you know, when you like, it's like long enough where you like kind of like do the twisties.
Oh yeah,
you know, the whole head of like the twisties. It looked cool as shit. Everybody liked it. He just big smile, super sweet 19-year-old kid. He comes in the day of his graduation, and he was wearing a knit cap. And we were sitting there for about 30 minutes when somebody looked at him and they were like, bro, did you shave your head? And he pulled the hat off and he was bald. And we were like, oh shit, dude, that looks great. And 19-year-old kid, 19-year-old black kid from fucking downtown Hartford. Okay. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I want to work in this business. And ain't nobody fucking hiring me
like that
with my hair like that. And I'll be honest, Rob, I don't think I'd ever given it a day of thought before that. And to hear somebody say that, a 19-year-old kid who's not, this isn't like this kid's like locked in to, you know, politics in the late, but he knows that. By the way,
but
Tashara Parker,
see, look at that, look
smoking hot. I don't care how she does her hair. Don't be such a really, people. Look at this girl. Are you fucking kidding me?
And that, you know what I mean? And that's the sad part. Like, and I look at it now, and we've been joking about it, like with your hair, right? And even in society standards now, your hair can still be okay. Because as a white, you know how many white Caucasian males I see, and they're like, "Oh my God, he looks like the kid off of fucking the football, the Denzel." I can't remember shit today. I can't remember I was about to say Training Day. I'm gonna lose my black card today. What's the Denzel movie? Never mind. Tashara's on the screen. Hi, Tashara.
Look at her. She's gorgeous. Look at
with
that.
The micro braids. With the micro braids.
That I really love.
Mad at that. Like, how could you be mad? Matter of fact, bring up. There's another woman I want to bring up. Demetria. Oh my Lord. If me and Danielle were not in a relationship, I would definitely be going to Vegas or Dallas, wherever she is, to meet Miss Demetria. She was also another TV analyst. She's out of the industry now, I want to say. She's doing on the bigger and better things. And actually Chance the Rapper and a couple other huge celebrities and public figures have came to her defense, where she was having an issue where people were commenting on her dresses. And if you follow her on Instagram, she's probably like one of the dopest. There we go. Remember the Titans. Thank you, Jace. Jace saved my black card tonight. But anyway, so she felt heavily fully figured woman. I don't want to make this like a visual thing, but fully figured woman. And the dresses fit her beautifully. And of course, you uncomfortable, sick, nasty, white, old fucks in Texas decided to, harass her so much where she decided to leave. And thank God she left. She found bigger and better gigs, but I hope she comes back into media sometime soon. If not, I will just continue to follow you on Instagram. If you do happen to hear this, between you, Snow, Legger, and LMA. Y'all are my hall passes. And when I say hall pass, it doesn't even mean something sexual. That just means I can take you out on a date and enjoy you smelling good because you look like you smell amazing. But other than that, we need to protect these women of color and the media. A moment of silence.
What? I mean, people are upset by this.
Yes, they feel that it is inappropriate. They feel that they shouldn't have to look at this on TV.
What is wrong with this?
They feel like you know what it is? Their wife doesn't look like that. Their wife could never.
I bet you their wife looks more like that than like that. So I don't know what they're complaining about here.
I agree. So it is my sole objective, since I am now getting in media, to protect women and media, especially women of color. And there's so many other safe, honorable mentions, but I will put them in a link in the Facebook page as we move on. But yeah, so I think this is what's going to wrap it up for tonight. I still have a couple more plugs. Matter of fact, I still have a couple more people to plug. Matter of fact, do we want to go ahead and show them? Oh, we have a couple of videos from our wrestling guys, right?
Yeah, I'm following Tashara on Twitter.
There you go. That just happened. I hope the wife isn't watching. I know mine sleeps, so I'm all right. She doesn't watch this episode, so that's all right.
Yeah, here's throwing jabs.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event.
All right.
I don't mean to brag, but I predicted both fights last weekend to an absolute T. Seriously, I predicted Khabib Nurmagomedov was going to choke out Justin Gaethje in the second round, and it happened. And I also predicted the Whitaker Cannonier fight decision to Whitaker. Nailed them both, Rob. I gave details as to how the fights would happen. But that's a really great show. Jace Garcia is the man with the plan. And if anybody that wants to, if you like sport, you like combat sports, dude, Jared Jones is a boxing trainer. He that sparred with Chad Dawson back in the day. Dude's the real deal. And not only do you talk about fights, man, like the cerebral part of the fight game and really what it takes. We kind of break it all down and really deep dive boxing and MMA and really any combat sport. So great show Saturday mornings at 10.
Sweet. And then we have Tyler Bard's wrestling show, right? Which I love. Huge fan of the
we don't have that one.
Oh, well, we'll have them for next week.
But no, we do have his other show.
Oh, okay.
Looking for a casual baseball podcast to listen to? Well, Baseball with the Bard, presented by Clovercrest Media, has just what you're looking for. Tyler Bard and Noah Cross cover a wide range of happenings in the MLB and then dive into a deep focus on the Red Sox and Yankees. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your weekly dose of Baseball with the Bard.
The sad thing about Tyler Bard is he's quickly gone from being a real hardcore Red Sox fan to he's in love with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a weird. I was just talking to Tyler earlier today about it, and he denies it, but he's got like a real crush on the Tampa Rays, dude. Can you imagine? You're a Steelers fan, Rob. Can you imagine if like the Bengals went on a nice little run? Say, Joe Burrow wins a couple games, and you're like, you're gonna start posting Joe Burrow photos all over your Facebook page, and people are like, Rob, what are you doing? And you're like, I don't know, I just like him. He's a good dude. Come on, Tyler.
Never happening.
Come on, Tyler.
So, you can't do that, buddy.
How dare you?
You can't go away from the home. Which I can't say. I would agree with him if it was like one of those like run things where it was like like the whole country was this team or that team. You know how like it was like Golden State versus LeBron James for a while?
Yeah.
I was on the Golden State bandwagon for a while. Like I'm a Bulls fan, but I was rocking the Golden State bandwagon for a little bit just because getting in the spirit of things. But you can't just dwindle from one team then going to another conference team and
you can't go from a Yankees or Red Sox or Cubs
to
or
the Rays.
Bears, Steelers, Giants, Cowboys. Like there's a few like fuck it. You could have been a Chiefs fan 10 years ago, and 10 years before that, maybe you like the Raiders. Nobody gives a shit about you and what you like. You know what I mean? You're a fickle fuck and everybody gets it. That's fine. But for the real fans, to be a Red Sox fan, and after literally like 2 years ago, they won the World Series. And this fucking kid Tyler wouldn't stop talking about it.
That's it.
You would have thought, Rob, that he won the World Series.
Poor Tyler.
That's how much Tyler wore his 2018 Red Sox cap literally every single day in 2019. Like he never took that hat off. He was so proud of it, but now he's got a weird fascination with the Tampa Rays, and I just can't get over it.
Did he say what?
I want to, but I can't.
Freaking Tyler. I don't know. Did he ever explain why, or is he just like, yeah, I'm just rocking with him?
No. So here's the other thing. Back in the old days, baseball season would end. There'd be the two division winners. They would play World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Within like 5 days, the World Series happens. Then in the 90s, they expanded baseball, right? They added now there's like 3 rounds of the playoffs. This year, there's like 5 rounds.
That's why
you can imagine, Rob, all the records are being broken because they've played like double the amount of games they've normally played in the postseason. And again, Tyler's like, these Rays are great. They're breaking all that. It's like they played 30 games. What do you mean they broke all the records? Babe Ruth played like 8 games, won a World Series. That's what you're going against. Yeah. Wow, this guy broke Babe Ruth's records from 8 games. It took him 32 games. He's just as good. I'm excited about that.
Much healthier stat shit.
Good God.
Jeez, that's funny. Well, that's funny. Yeah, Tyler, you got to come back. You got to come back to your original home. Definitely got to come back to your original home.
I hate the Red Sox, but it even makes me embarrassed for him. Get it together, Tyler. You got some together. Get your fucking Red Sox shirt on, and that's the other problem. I noticed he's been doing baseball with the Bard in a Patriots jersey.
What the hell is going, Tyler? What we got?
He's moved on. It's like he's moved on.
Yeah, just done with New England.
I think so. I think an intervention is necessary.
We might have to do that. We might have to get him on. I'll pitch you out shortly.
Quality boy, don't correct me when I say it's their 31st game. I was being facetious. 18 games. Again, Babe Ruth would finish the 154-game season. They would have a best of 5, so 3 games, and they're in the World Series, and then 4 and they win it. That's 7 games. The Rays are in their 18th game. Stop that. That's too many games.
It seems like these things have been going on, like the postseason for MLB has been going on forever. It seems like they had the same amount of like regular season games that they do have fucking postseason games.
That's what it feels like, Rob. Like, seriously, there's going to be like 4 rounds to this postseason. That's insane. Of course, all the records are they're playing way more games.
They're playing a whole nother season.
Get that right. I can't. People are like, dude, that guy's got like 9 home runs. Well, yeah, if he did it in 9 games, that would be great. It's taking him 18.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, if you guys definitely enjoy baseball, definitely check out Baseball with the Barb.
It is a great show, by the way.
It is
shit on his show because it's really good.
No, it's definitely a good show. I have. Tyler's gonna be like, man, y'all should. No, Tyler, we're shitting on your. We're shitting. If we're shitting on anything, we're shitting on your flip flopping.
Yeah.
But the show is amazing.
His co-host Noah, by the way, who's a black magician. I'm not even making that shit up, Rob.
Why can't he just be a magician, Joe?
Right. Why can't he? Because it's better that he's a black magician. Because have you ever seen a white magician? it's kind of weird. Black guy doing it, and you're like, this is kind of fucking cool. Anyway, Noah on that show is the Yankee fan, and he's always got his shit together, and he's very consistent on who he likes. Yep. So it's not like there's two flip-floppers.
There you go. So you got one consistent, and you got Tyler.
Tyler was chiming in earlier. He must not be watching anymore because he's gonna be sorry he didn't stick it out.
Oh man, he'll catch it later. Man, look. As far as that, also I would like to let you guys know, Sticky Beak Podcast. I know I've been talking about a lot of podcasts like murder mystery solving, cold case podcasts that like these magnificent just lawyer women at Clovercrest Media are presenting, and I want to introduce you guys to Sticky Beat Podcast. And in June 1988, a little girl named Doreen Vincent vanished from her father's rented farmhouse in Wallingford, Connecticut. She was 12. Her father didn't call the police for 3 days. Instead, he burned her diary and destroyed her comforter. For 32 years, the police called Doreen a troubled child, a runaway, and all her family was left with no answers, no solace. That is until Jessica Fritz Aguirre arrived to ask the hard questions, to not take no for an answer, to not rest in her quest to get justice for Dory. Join her as an armchair detective on the true crime podcast Sticky Beat, available wherever you listen to your podcast. And let me tell you guys something. When I first got introduced to CMG, when I was like, oh, let me see what's on the roster, I got hooked. I didn't think I would like it. To be honest, this is like my first like cold case murder mystery podcast because I was like, oh, you hear? No, I lied. This is my second one, other than like the Dear John shit, which was crazy. But this one was like murder mystery cold case, and I was glued from front to back. And I don't want to tell Jessica this, but I double backed on like the first 2 episodes because I planned on like listening to it again. At least from when I had caught up and then kept going. So make sure you guys go listen to Sticky Beak, another CMG family podcast. If you guys got to see some of my love roll, I had to scratch my back. My back's been eating the fuck out of it. Here's
another really funny part of the whole Small World After All CMG thing.
Yep.
Rob, when Rob really, again, I've known Rob for a while, but Rob really came onto my radar at a Black Lives Matter rally in Wallingford, where you'll never fucking believe this, but the detective that Jessica Fritz Aguirre and I, her executive producer, have been fighting with to find out what happened to this 12-year-old girl. We've been duking it out with this douchebag for like a year and a half. And I go on Facebook and I see my buddy Jess is like, you got to see Rob, man. Like Dottie's father's like doing it. It's fucking amazing. And I go on and Rob's like out in front of the Wallingford PD and he's got his fucking tank top on. It's like, holy shit, dude, Rob's a badass. And he's in the fucking face of this cop and he's doing his thing. And it's the same fucking cop we were dealing with. And I was like, we got to get Rob on. We got to join the family now because we got the same enemies and everything. Yeah. It's great.
It's been amazing. And I haven't even updated you because I totally just said, fuck it with this. I don't want to call him a Nimrod or idiot, but I see what you were saying. Like, I literally like sent him 2 emails. He tried to like email me back for like one of them. And then I was like, hey, let's meet up this time. And kept getting pushed back. And then I finally was like, hey, what are you just doing for, just for cultural awareness? Oh, that's not really on our agenda. You know what, dude, whatever. You guys are fucking dickheads. So Wallingford PD.
Yeah. I'll say this, the Wallingford Police Department, and I've tried. I mean, I've literally gone in there and tried to do their fucking job for them. The most incompetent bunch of fucking idiots I've ever met in my life. And, put that shit on the record. I've tried. I've got evidence, Rob. I've got evidence in this case. Well, I should say my wife does, Jessica, who's done an amazing job, and I've helped her really develop a lot of the evidence. And, we brought some other people in, FBI agents and shit, to really look at things, and we've got a really good beat on what happened. We've got evidence that could break the case wide open, and we've been literally waiting for 2 weeks for a call back from the lead detective, who is a buddy of mine, who early on, when we first started attacking them on the podcast for not cooperating, actually had the fucking balls to tell my buddy, if you would have just asked like, dude, I gave you a million fucking chances to fucking step up and do your fucking job. I said I would do it for you. Yeah. I've got questions written for the witnesses, you fucking clown. Call me. You know my number.
Just fucking
unfucking believable, Rob. You know, I get shit from people like, oh, he's all fucking sanctimonious. I give and I give and I give. And I do. And when I fuck up, I own it.
And that's
always.
Like, that's
always. And when I'm down, I get the fuck up again. That's what happens.
Integrity and accountability, people.
That's all you got to do. You need fucking help? Ask. I'll fucking do it.
Fucking weirdos. I don't see it. Like, where did your pride hurt so much that you can't fucking get the assistance, or, you know what I mean, ask for help? Like, just because you guys are cops doesn't mean you guys are fucking the know all be alls. Like, a lot of cops
they got internet at that police station 2 fucking years ago. That's why you're not solving crimes.
No. And
I can't imagine you just got fucking AOL like 2 years ago.
It's still fucking making that static noise when they log on. Hey, Jimmy, stop picking up the phone.
Do you know what? Seriously, do you know what they did in Wallingford before 2 years ago when they wanted to do some research on a case? Library? They would go to the fucking library.
Jesus Christ.
Like, that's a real thing, Wallingford. And you keep voting for the mayor, dude. The same guy's been there 30 years. Like, he's not doing jack shit for anybody. And they're like, who gives a shit?
Who's the other guy? Who the other guy that fucking the racist asshole that fucking did he finally get pulled out of office? Or is he still in office?
He's still there. Dickinson? Oh, yeah. They'll keep him there forever.
Oh.
Wallingford, and I lived in Wallingford, and it's a great town, but, like, unfortunately, like, 50% of the people just don't want to be Meriden, which is the lovely, diverse town right next door I grew up in. You're not any better than Meriden, Wallingford, and you never will be. So calm your shit down.
There you go.
Calm your shit down.
Exactly. Fucking assholes.
How are we racist? I don't know, because you're like, look at the border of Meriden like it's the fucking like worst place on earth. That's why. Could be that.
I honestly, like, of course I believe and know that Wallingford is racist, but it definitely got like embedded in my head like double time after that shit at the police station. I was everything but the child of God. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I didn't do anything wrong.
Let me tell you something. The first time I really knew there was a difference between how white and black people were treated, it was directly because of Wallingford. I had a bunch of buddies who we used to do a lot of shit in Wallingford or going through Wallingford back into Meriden. And dude, like a fucking quick stop on Route 5. There's every Route 5 in Wallingford. You name a restaurant chain and it's fucking there.
Yep.
Or it's been there and gone out of business. They've had it all. Well, yeah, it's a depressing place. But my black friends, my Hispanic friends would never drive through Wallingford.
No.
I mean, the fear of God wouldn't drive through Wallingford. I had a buddy once. Fucking dude, he just like nobody knew what happened to him. He stopped off to get something to drink at a gas station at like 3 a.m. and like a week went by. Nobody knew where the fuck he was.
The fuck?
Turns out he had a headlight out. 3 o'clock in the morning. He was at work.
Wallingford.
He left work to go throw some gas in his car, get a Gatorade, and then to go back to work, and his headlight was out. He gets pulled over. They search his whole car. I mean, tore that shit to shreds. They get his fucking gym bag, dumping all the shit out of his gym bag. And at the bottom of his gym bag, Rob, it's a little plastic baggie. There wasn't even fucking weed in that baggie. It was that shit bag with the sticks and the stems and the seeds. You know that fucking bag you should have thrown away and you wish you did now? He got arrested and literally taken in right there on the spot. He was on probation.
Fucking Wallingford.
And got fired from his job for not coming back on his dinner break.
You fucking pieces of shit, Wallingford PD. I'm telling you, like that was I have stories with Wallingford PDs, and I'm not
dude, I mean, I could tell you, man. I even got a bunch of I got a lot of white trash friends in Wallingford too. I'm proud to say, who the first time I ever heard the police referred to as Johnny Law or Johnny Five. Do you know any of this shit? Yeah, Johnny Five. Oh yeah.
No, I mean we called him 12 one time, but Johnny Five. I've never heard of Johnny Five.
Yeah, Johnny Five. Oh yeah, dude. Like.
Johnny Law.
Even the white people in Wallingford generally don't like the police there. So
that's funny. Like I wonder about that. Like the country bumpkin, like white people, like the trailer park white people down like Midwest. Like, how do y'all like hate the government and like all that other shit, but love Trump? I don't get it.
Yeah. It's a joke.
Anyways. Well, I think that's gonna be there's so much more to talk about, but I'm gonna save all that. I wanted to talk about the talk. But I think that's gonna be I didn't want to take away from all this black girl magic and empowerment we were doing and women empowerment that we were doing. And then the other things we could talk about forever. But I think we'll just cut it right here and I'll get into what I have in rotation and kind of keeping with that theme. Stick with I'll go with Brown Skin Girl this week by Beyonce, Blue Ivy, St. John, and Wizkid. That is off of the Lion King album and Beyonce's Lion King album. She did like a whole album for the Lion King movie, live action movie. So yeah, let's keep empowering black women. I listen to this whenever, I want to feel good about my sisters or my mom or, black women across the world. Women of color.
Who's Slade Hill? Who's that?
I think that's one of the producers. Salathiel.
Okay.
Is a producer.
All right.
With
Pharrell. Yeah. I always liked him.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the exact cover. I was trying to look for a different one with Beyonce and Blue Ivy, which is super dope.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, that was. I know that was part of the Lion King. Like, I don't know if that was like the full cover or like the single cover, but really, really dope cover. But yeah. Final words. Let's see here. If you had any special power, what would it be? Real quick.
Oh man, I'd make people tell the truth.
A truth? You have the truth, sir?
I'd be like fucking Wonder Woman, but I wouldn't use a lasso.
What would you use?
You know what I would use.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, motherfucker. You better do it now. This thing's coming right at you. All right.
Oh my God, some sick shit. I'll save that for after the show. We need to have a Ipios fucking uncut because that's some sick shit. My power would be what a great way to decompress to it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Quality, man. Appreciate you, brother. My special power would be like the jumper. Have you ever watched the movie Jumper and be able to like just literally see like if I had a picture of like Timbuktu, I can look at it and like jump myself over there.
Oh wow, that'd be pretty fucking neat.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Jumper, look up Jumper. It's a good show. It's a good movie, but I would love to have that power. It's pretty dope, pretty cool. I had a funny. If you were to do one petty thing to your wife while she was not speaking to you, if she was mad, what would you do to get her to? What petty thing would you do to get her to speak to you again? Like example, like change the batteries or like flip the batteries, unscrew partially like a light bulb, unplug something.
Like a setup, you're saying?
Yeah, like what would you do?
You like reverse the remote so she has to come and be like, can you fix this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like something that was just like
that wouldn't go well because she would take it and she would fucking throw it at me and be like, "Fix this fucking thing, dummy." Yeah, I sort of saw what you were doing here, and I thought I would never try that shit. Whenever we get into a fight, my wife will like storm off and go in the bedroom and she'll open up her book and she'll start reading, and I'll give her 5, and I'm walking in there and I'm like, "Are you gonna be mad all night?"
That's me.
She's like, "I'm not talking to you," and I'm like, "Well, look, yeah, you bitch, we don't get to see each other enough. Do you want to spend the next 4 hours in here pouting like a fucking baby, or you want to go watch a movie? Get the fuck out. I'll wait for you on the couch. Take a couple more minutes. Come see me when you're done."
Does she usually come out on the couch?
It's like a 50-50. You know what I mean? Whatever.
That's funny. See, mine is I've gotten so petty. I just hide her keys. Not even like hide her keys, but I move them. So like if I know that she like put them on the table, I'll put them on the key ring. Because like she's horrible at looking for shit.
So who finds them on the key ring? You or her?
I find them eventually after I look hard enough for them.
Okay.
I just don't.
All right. That's what I thought.
The key ring isn't like the first thing I go to. I look around for a little bit. You know, since you're bothering.
You say shit to her like, "Well, why don't you retrace your steps?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, where were you last? Didn't you open the door? Maybe they're in the door.
I love doing that.
I thought I saw. You know what? I thought I saw you with them upstairs. Like,
you retrace your steps. I already did. Duh.
You sure you look in your purse?
That I always like to say. Well, if you did, you would have found them.
Yeah.
So, whatever step you left out of your recreation is probably where the fucking keys are.
Exactly. Well, if you can think of any cool, sick, sadistic shit like me and Joe, of ways to get back at your significant other, or some super cool fucking powers that you have, or if you just want to shoot the shit, you know, we have a hotline, or you can Cash App us. I'll piss you off shortly, or get yourself some merch. www.I'llPissYouOffShortly.com, 860-342-8711. I'll piss you off shortly hotline. Somebody please hit me up on that hotline. I'm sick of this used car guy getting all these. Well, he's not getting them, but these people keep like responding, like contacting this number, thinking that they're gonna get whatever used car number used to own this, have this number. But yeah, hit us up on the line, hit us up online, hit us up clovercrestmedia.com /I'llPissYouOffShortly.com. I'll piss you off shortly. I'll piss you off shortly.com. I'll piss you off shortly on all platforms. Yo, be on the lookout.
I can't even get over how hot this dick is. Like, I'm not even playing, dude. What is wrong with people?
Put the meteor back up.
I hate people. Look at that. Man, I wish they had that on our TV.
I'm just saying. On that note, I'm Rob Benjamin. That's Joe Aguirre. This is I'll Pitch You Out Shortly. You guys have a good night.
I'm gonna get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Pitch You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly.